Here to help us unpack it all is Colin Craig, president of secondstreet.org. Welcome to Forum Daily.
Thanks for having me.
Colin, 57% of Canadians want governments to put their focus on COVID relief versus just 34% who say focus on the economy to fight climate change. What are your thoughts on this gap?
Well, I think, and it's strange that it needs to even be said, but I think Canadians they're tired of dealing with COVID. It's been so long. It's affected so many families, so many businesses. It's affected our way of life. The polling numbers that we got really suggest that Canadians want things to go back to normal. They're not looking for governments to engage in grand experiments and schemes right now. They want governments to focus in on getting people vaccinated, getting things back to normal.
And how do you feel the Liberal federal government strategy in dealing with the pandemic is affecting Canadians?
Well, I think people are burned out. I think they're looking at other countries. They're seeing that they're getting vaccinated at much higher rates, faster. Things are returning to normal. South of the border, you turn on your TV, you see these baseball games. They got thousands and thousands of people in the stands. You look at Ontario right now. They're under a very strict lockdown. Quebec has curfews. Like, it's a night and day difference. And the difference is government. And I think Canadians really are looking for things to go back to normal. They don't want these grand schemes. We've seen that kind of message coming out through some of the other poll questions that we asked.
Now, 72% of Canadians with natural gas heated homes would not be willing to switch to electric heat if it meant a price increase, while 13%, according to the data, would be willing to switch. Now, what do these stats tell you about about really what Canadians prioritize?
Well, when you look across the country, we've seen a number of municipalities now where they've been passing these motions that are looking to phase out natural gas, whether for electricity, home heating, other different ways. The polling numbers show that Canadians aren't on board with that. When you look at having to pay a significant carbon tax on your natural gas, Canadians aren't interested in doing that once they start to see what those numbers look like. I think what people shouldn't interpret is that it's not that Canadians don't care about the environment, they're concerned about climate change. I think they're hungry for alternative ideas that go beyond just simply taxing people. And a great example is if you look at a country like China and India, they have smog problems. They have high emissions. They're creating more and more coal power plants. Mm-hmm. And what Canada could do to help reduce emissions is to export some of our natural gas to those countries, export a lot more of it. We could help them clear up their skies, so you could improve public health, you could reduce emissions. I think those are the types of options that Canadians are looking for right now, rather than huge hikes to the carbon tax and grand schemes to restructure life. They want to get things back to normal.
So do Canadians have any time to focus on any other crisis right now based on the data you're looking at?
I don't think so. I mean, Canadians in their individual lives, a lot of people are struggling. A lot of families are struggling. They've taken on more debt during COVID. People have had their pay reduced. They've had layoffs, whatever. A lot of businesses are struggling. So I think more than anything, Canadians are quite concerned about added costs coming right now from the government, whether it's through the carbon tax going up or through other measures. I don't think there's a lot of appetite right now among Canadians for those types of things.
So on one level, we're talking about Canadians tightening their purse strings. I'm curious, when we talked about export of natural gas, your data suggests that has also been a route that hopefully Canadians are saying could lead to more jobs. I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts upon that? Is this a potential route that we're looking towards?
Well, 65% of Canadians say that's a great idea, to start exporting our natural gas to other countries to help reduce emissions. The other benefit, as you just mentioned, it's job creation. So it's not just these other countries that benefit because they get to use our natural gas and reduce their emissions and clean up their smog. Canada can create thousands and thousands of jobs by unleashing opportunities in that sector. We're seeing it a little bit in British Columbia. There's one project that's underway. But it's a much, much bigger opportunity for our nation if we really latch onto that. And what a more perfect time to be creating those types of
Yeah, right
jobs than
now.
right now. As we talked about, lots of Canadians are out of work.
We'll have to
This
leave
is
it.
one way we can get Canadians back to work without governments having to spend money.
We'll have to leave it there, Colin. Thank you so much.